Hello everyone! I just got back from exploring Canada and wanted to share with you my favorite places. Canada is one of the largest and most livable countries in the world. It is a multicultural country with a population predominantly of British and French descent. Canada has a population of around 34 million, with more than a third living in its three largest cities, Montreal, Toronto, and Vancouver. Canada's cities are modern and friendly, and are home to national treasures and attractions. Each of Canada's provinces and territories has its own unique attractions for visitors, from wildlife viewing and fishing in the north to kayaking and nature exploration in the Maritimes. You can ski and snowboard in British Columbia, enjoy resorts and culture in Quebec, go boating and sightseeing in Ontario, or explore unique areas and museums in the prairies. Canada's natural landscapes are breathtaking. Horseshoe Falls in Niagara, Ontario, is one of the most impressive and largest waterfalls in the world. The Canadian Rockies are a protected wilderness area with many recreational activities and stunning scenery. Canada is a country with many blessings. In total area, including territorial waters, Canada is the second largest country in the world. It has the longest coastline in the world, 243,000 kilometers, surrounded by three oceans, the Pacific to the west, the Atlantic to the east, and the Arctic to the north. With its cultural diversity, stunning nature, and modern cities, Canada is a great destination for travelers from all over the world. Canada, the second largest country in the world, is not only famous for its majestic and diverse natural landscapes, but also has many unique and interesting things that you may not know. These facts will definitely make you love this country more and want to explore it more. Here are some interesting facts that only exist in Canada. Canada has more lakes than any other country in the world. Canada has about 60% of the world's lakes. There are more than 2 million lakes, including famous lakes such as Lake Superior, Lake Huron, and Lake Ontario. These lakes are not only valuable sources of fresh water, but also attractive tourist destinations. Official languages. Canada has two official languages, English and French. Quebec is the only province where French is the official language, and Montreal is the second largest French-speaking city in the world after Paris. Maple leaf symbol. The maple leaf is the national symbol of Canada and appears on the national flag. Canada also produces about 71% of the world's maple syrup, with the majority of it produced in the province of Quebec. Bald eagle. Canada is home to about 70% of the world's bald eagles. British Columbia is particularly home to this bird. Diverse natural landscapes. Canada has a wide variety of natural landscapes, from the majestic Rocky Mountains, the vast grasslands of the prairies, the vast forests of the north, to the beautiful beaches along the Atlantic and Pacific coasts. Niagara Falls, located on the border between Canada and the United States, is one of the most famous and impressive waterfalls in the world. The Canadian side of the falls, called Horseshoe Falls, attracts millions of visitors each year. Free healthcare. Canada is famous for its public healthcare system, where all citizens and legal residents receive free healthcare. This helps improve the quality of life and public health. History of ice. Ice hockey is the national sport of Canada and is considered an integral part of the culture and life of the people. Canada has won many gold medals in the Olympics and World Championships. Unique flag. The Canadian flag, featuring a red maple leaf on a white background, was adopted in 1965. This simple yet iconic design has become a source of pride for Canadians. Aurora Borealis. Canada is one of the best places in the world to see the Aurora Borealis. The northern regions of the country, such as Yukon, Nunavut, and the Northwest Territories, often experience this phenomenon in the winter. Wildlife. Canada is home to many unique wildlife species such as polar bears, beavers, moose, and snowshoe antelope. National parks and nature reserves across the country are ideal places to see and protect wildlife. Santa Claus Post Office. Each year, Canada Post receives millions of letters addressed to Santa Claus. Santa's official address is Santa Claus North Pole H0H0H0 Canada, and volunteers answer letters from children all over the world. And now we will begin our journey of discovery through the most beautiful places in Canada. Let's start our journey on Vancouver Island. Named after British explorer George Vancouver, Vancouver Island is the largest island off the west coast of the North American continent. Located opposite Washington State, it can be reached by ferry across the San Juan Islands from Anacortes, from Port Angeles on the state's Olympic Peninsula, or from Vancouver on the British Columbia mainland. Vancouver Island is famous for its quaint city of Victoria, the stunning Butchart Gardens, the surf town of Tofino, and the wilderness to the north, from where you can catch a ferry to Prince Rupert and another to Alaska. In particular, don't forget to join a whale watching tour. If whale watching is your priority, visit between April and October when orca and humpback whales are most abundant in the area. Vancouver Island is a paradise that will satisfy your ocean and jungle dreams in one trip. Next, we head to Banff National Park. Located in the province of Alberta, in the majestic Rocky Mountains, just 110 kilometers from Calgary. Banff National Park is not only Canada's first national park, but also one of the country's largest and most visited national parks. The park's breathtaking scenery and wildlife attract many tourists each year along the Trans-Canada Highway, which passes through the park. Banff National Park's large wildlife population includes mammals such as black bears, grizzlies, bison, moose, wolves, and bald eagles. This is a great place for outdoor enthusiasts. Visit the town of Banff, soak in the hot springs, or visit the historic Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel. Time at Lake Louise is also not to be missed. In the summer, Banff has warm days, turquoise lakes, and world-class festivals. In the winter, it transforms into a snowy wonderland, perfect for skating, skiing, and snowshoeing. If you're not comfortable walking alone, take a guided walking tour. Next up, we're off to Montreal. The second largest city in Canada after Toronto, Montreal is the cultural and financial capital of the province of Quebec. Boasting the largest French-speaking community outside of Paris, France, Montreal is a bustling metropolis with a downtown, a historic district, an entertainment district, and several distinct neighborhoods. Montreal's main attractions include downtown skyscrapers like the Olympic Tower, the historic buildings of Old Montreal, and a number of family-friendly attractions like amusement parks and water parks. This is one of the best places in Canada to enjoy a bacon sandwich and a bagel. You can take a personalized food tour of Montreal. After your meal, explore historic sites like the Notre Dame Basilica. The Montreal Biodome is also a great family-friendly option with 5 ecosystems from the Americas under one roof. And for art lovers, the Montreal Museum of Fine Arts is a must-see. Now we come to Cape Breton Island. Often ranked as the #1 island in North America, located northeast of Nova Scotia, Cape Breton Island is famous for its craggy cliffs, dramatic coastal scenery, and highland views. Cape Breton Island was an independent colony until it was annexed in 1820. It welcomed thousands of Scottish immigrants in the early 19th century and remains the only place in North America where you can hear Gaelic spoken amid the breathtaking scenery. The highlight is definitely Cape Breton Highlands National Park, with the Skyline Trail overlooking the Gulf of St. Lawrence, famous for its migrating whales. And the stunning Cabot Trail circles the island, passing through forests and rugged coastlines and taking in stunning views. Don't forget the picturesque fishing villages, such as Gulf of St. Lawrence, where you'll find some fantastic seafood. And don't forget to visit Sydney, the island's largest city founded by the British in 1785. Next, we head to Niagara Falls. Niagara Falls is a series of 3 majestic waterfalls that straddle the border of Ontario, Canada, and New York, United States. It is one of Canada's greatest tourist attractions. Its strategic location has made it one of the most visited places in Canada. The Ontario side of the falls is known as Horseshoe Falls and offers the best views and most attractions. The area around the falls is a top tourist destination, with many observation towers, restaurants, souvenir shops, casinos, and high-rise hotels. One of the best places to see Niagara Falls on the Ontario side is from Queen Victoria Park, where the falls are illuminated and fireworks are set off at night during the summer. The city of Niagara Falls has a carnival-like atmosphere with plenty of activities for families. This is also a popular day trip from Toronto, but it is better to stay overnight to see the falls in the evening when they are illuminated in all their colors. Newfoundland and Labrador is a province in eastern Canada that is the most linguistically homogeneous province in Canada, with 97.6% of residents reporting English as their first language in the 2006 census. Known for its rugged landscape, icebergs, and abundant marine life, the area also has a colorful past, with influences from Vikings, Native Americans, and the Irish. Lighthouses here testify to the sailors and fishermen who braved the rough waves. But the biggest draw is the icebergs, spectacular structures that are up to 10,000 years old and drift in from the Arctic each spring. Next, we head to Vancouver. Nestled between the Coast Ranges and the Pacific Ocean in British Columbia, Vancouver is beloved for its stunning landscape, creating a natural playground where visitors can swim in the ocean, rollerblade through picturesque parks, and ski in the mountains all in one day. As the third-largest metropolitan area in the country, Vancouver is one of the most popular places to visit in Canada. Vancouver consistently ranks highly on lists of the most livable cities. Vancouver's main attraction is Stanley Park, with its rainforest just blocks from the skyscrapers, covering a vast area of woodlands, gardens, and green space. Granville Island was once an industrial area, but is now a pedestrian oasis with art shops and galleries. And don't forget to check out Granville Island's famous food market. Not far away is one of North America's oldest Chinatowns. Vancouver is a great mix of city and nature. Next up, we'll head to Whistler, a town just north of Vancouver. Thanks to a pair of spectacular mountains called Whistler and Blackcomb, Whistler Resort is the largest and most popular alpine ski destination in North America. In addition to skiing and snowboarding, the area offers activities like snowmobiling and skydiving at the Olympic Park. However, summer visitors now outnumber the ski season. Whistler can get very crowded with over 2.3 million visitors a year, and it's quite expensive. So if you're adventurous but on a budget, pick your time and avoid the crowds. Located in British Columbia's Coast Range, Whistler is a 2-hour drive from Vancouver along Canada's most scenic drive, the Sea to Sky Highway. At the base of 2 mountains are 3 quaint villages: Whistler Village, Creekside, and Upper Village. The peak-to-peak gondola takes visitors from the villages to the mountains. Gros Morne National Park is much more remote than Canada's other famous national parks, but it is well worth exploring. A stunning landscape of mountains and grasslands, this UNESCO World Heritage Site features steep cliffs, waterfalls, and interesting rock formations created by glacial meltwater. It is also a great place for hiking. Most visitors take a boat tour to see the stunning views, but there are also walking trails to experience the beauty of the area. Next, we head to Quebec City. Quebec City may be the capital of the eastern Canadian province of Quebec, with a history of over 400 years, with ancient stone walls, ornate churches, and small jazz-inspired cafes. But the city's French heritage, architecture, and language make it feel more like a charming European village. Designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1985, Old Quebec is the best-preserved city north of Mexico, with over 400 years of historic architecture. Perched on a hill overlooking the St. Lawrence River, Quebec City's historic district offers encounters with sites like the Citadel and Place Royale, the area where explorer Samuel de Champlain established the first French settlement in North America. The city's icon, the stunning Chateau Frontenac, is considered the most photographed hotel in North America and offers tours even without an overnight stay. Next, we head to Toronto. The capital of Ontario, Toronto, is the most populated city in Canada and one of the largest cities in North America. With a large number of ethnic districts like Chinatown, Little India, and Little Italy, Toronto is also one of the world's most culturally diverse cities. The city's main tourist draws range from impressive landmarks such as the iconic CN Tower and the fairy tale castle of Casa Loma. Additionally, the Toronto Islands are a popular destination with beaches and outdoor activities. Our final destination is Churchill. The small town of Churchill is undoubtedly the biggest tourist draw in northern Manitoba, at least during the fall. That's when the polar bears move inland, giving Churchill the name Polar Bear Capital of the World. October and early November are good times to take in this polar bear migration, but boat tours along Hudson Bay take tourists to them in the summer as well. Sometimes the bears wander into town, where they're put in jail until they can be released back into the wild. July and August are popular times to visit also, since that's when thousands of beluga whales are migrating. And that is my list of favorite places in Canada. I have only scratched the surface of this wonderful country and will definitely be back to explore more. Let me know your favorite places in Canada in the comments. Thanks for following. Wishing you exciting and memorable trips. See you soon.